first question is for all three of you, and it's kind of inspired by what is now two of my favorite scenes in this franchise. So in the first movie, we get that moment where Alan Grant sees the Brachiosaurus for the first time, and here it's Dr. Loomis seeing the Titanosaurus. And I just love how those moments, like, so well express like the awe and significance of seeing a dinosaur. So I want to know what your version of that is on the Jurassic World Rebirth set. The first time you kind of stopped and looked around and went to yourself like, my God, this is incredible. I'm making a Jurassic movie.
I think for me, it was like, it took a while to actually have that moment because I couldn't process any of it. But there was just, when we were in Malta, we were all out on the sailboat together, and it was just us and like as minimal crew as possible because it wasn't a very big boat, it was a sailboat. We were in the middle of the Mediterranean. I remember I was so hot and sweaty and exhausted, but I just looked out at the horizon and I saw this armada of ships with the rest of the crew on it all behind us. Just like, I was like, wow, it takes a village and we're a part of that village. And it was truly wonderful to see.
Love that visual.
Yeah, I'd say it was actually one of the first days of filming, and we were at this waterfall. And
oh, yeah, that was nice.
It was like super cool. It was hot though, so seeing that waterfall, and then we were like walking across rocks all together, and I think it was just a really good moment.
I think for me it has to be the whole T-Rex raft sequence. I got to shoot that for like 4 days just with me and the crew, and that was just a very surreal moment looking up at all of those amazing mountains in Thailand, and I'm like hip deep in a swamp and I'm crying and screaming, and there's a tennis ball in front of me. I was like, oh, okay, like this is Jurassic, and just getting to live that moment and process that on my own was just really cool.
I'll lean into the dinos of it all and filming with all the necessary effects. For each of you, of all the dinosaurs that your character gets to encounter, which would you call, I guess, the most difficult scene partner to work with, the most challenging dinosaur to film opposite?
I'd say
the D-Rex.
The D-Rex was hard, but the T-Rex also with the raft scene was a little hard.
Totally.
Yeah.
I might say Spinos too, just because we had so much ocean to be looking at. It was kind of hard to like pinpoint a specific place of being like, what are those things, So,
I think the D-Rex though, for me, was just like, it was so much more grand than anything we'd seen before. So like, even coming down to just like the like logistics of like height and body and how big is the teeth compared to this teeth. Like, and there was just so much to like talk about where, it just was just at much more of like a grander scale than anything we'd like seen before. So yeah, the D-Rex was so cool.
So well lit too. Yeah. Obsessed with the red lighting against
Yeah, it's so cool, right?
I'll end with a question somewhat inspired by the conversation we had yesterday. So all three of you, if you had the opportunity to visit Jurassic World, the park is real. Are you going? And if you go, what is the very first exhibit you have to visit?
Oh. I know what I'd say. I wouldn't really say can I go like off a exhibit?
Oh yes.
My favorite is in the original when John Hammond is walking through he tells everyone to like hop on the little ride at the beginning, and he's going through all the different like slides of all of that, and in the little machine incubator you see just the tiny little dinos like this big, and they're so small. I'd love to see dinos that tiny. I'd love to see them. So I'd like to be in the lab, I guess. I would like to be in the lab.
Feels like that's the safer option, and you get to hopefully be close to a raptor egg while it hatches.
Yeah, because you don't want to be near them when they're like bigger.
Yeah, I'd say I would want to go to the Jurassic World. Like, I think even though you might get eaten by a dinosaur, it's an experience to tell.
If you get to tell it.
In the afterlife,
you could just say like, oh, it bit my foot, or I died.
I'd probably go Raptors, man. I think they're the OGs, they're the classics. They hunt in packs, and it would just be so interesting to watch.
Old move, but I respect it.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Go big or go home.